Good afternoon. This is Judge Alyssa Perez presiding over the 210th District Court criminal docket for June 11th, 2024. All matters being heard today are being heard in accordance with all directives regarding remote proceedings. In addition to that, we are streaming all matters live via YouTube for public viewing. Mr. Hernandez, will you call our first case, please?
First case now calling docket number 2022-0T04010. The state of Texas versus Luis Acuna. Announcements, please.
Is
This is Fernando Chacon for Mr. Acuna. I'm here.
Is Ms. Guarneri here?
I'll cover if she's not here.
Okay, and I think I see Mr. Acuna appearing from the downtown jail. Thank you, downtown. Thank you, Mr. Reynolds. We are scheduled for a bond hearing today. I did review this one, Mr. Chacon. He has no bond at this time. So the history of his bonds has been, I believe, when it was initially indicted, he had a bond that was, I believe, 790,000. I don't know if it was 790 with a 10,000 PR component, but I had the cash surety portion at 790,000. Then that was reduced, I believe. My notes don't reflect if it was here or at the jail magistrate. He was on a bond, cash surety bond for 299,000 cash surety, 1,000 PR, and of course now his bond was revoked, and we're on a bond hearing. Mr. Chacon, you may proceed.
Your Honor, my client is an engineer, works for Sun City Analytical. He is responsible for the laboratory there. And there's about 20 or so employees that depend for him for the running of that laboratory, which does asbestos testing and other things for school districts and for the federal government. He is indispensable as far as the running of that place is concerned, the laboratory. He also is an officer of military police with the U.S. Army Reserves, and he reports there faithfully. You have been allowed him to go to wherever his job dictates. With that posting of the bond, he has been indigent and has been borrowing and paying for the bond on that. So I was hoping that you could reinstate his bond. I don't know if the bondsman would do that or let him go out on a PR bond, Your Honor. I mean, he's reported to court faithfully. He's done everything faithfully, obeyed the conditions of his release faithfully, Your Honor. And we're putting it in your hands, Judge. He will continue to report as ordered.
Mr. Reynolds, are you, I know you announced that you're ready to cover on this one, but I know this is one that actually we had a hearing. I don't know if you were here for that, for the state's motion to revoke or increase bond. So, oh, there you are. Okay. Ms. Guarneri, the response on the bond.
Your Honor, the defendant had several opportunities to maintain his bond. The state had brought motions to the court on 2 or 3 different occasions for the exact issue that Your Honor finally revoked his bond for. He is using different methods to continue to intimidate and cause harassment, fear, and trepidation in the complaining witness of this case. He started doing this simply by sending mail. Like, he was sending random pieces of mail to an address that he got off of a protection order. And then on top of that, some of the mail that he had been sending was mail that he would have had to go in person or would have had to tell someone to send that mail to that particular address. And I believe one of the prosecutors prior on this case stated that he was having NRA material sent to that address, which is concerning because he had already said to the victim or to the complaining witness that there was no way he was going to go down for this. So,
Judge, once again,
hold on, let's go one at a time. Ms. Guarneri, go ahead.
So again, Your Honor, it is he has not been taking he hasn't taken the protective order seriously. He hasn't taken the court seriously. He hasn't taken the state seriously. When we say that there's supposed to be no contact at all, even through third parties, with the complaining witness, and yet he continues to try to maneuver his way around the system by doing little slick things like sending mail, and some of the mail can be construed as threatening. So the state would ask that he remain incarcerated and that he not have a bond, and that if the court does see fit to give him a bond, that it'll be a bond sufficient enough to drive the point home to the defendant that he cannot have any contact at all through third parties, through family members, through mail, in any way, shape, form, or fashion with the complaining witness in this case.
Without relitigating the facts of the earlier hearing, it is clear the assistant district attorney in this matter is just speculating and talking about facts that don't exist. There has not been witness to testify to the fact. Even the complaining witness says she doesn't know how that mail got to her. There is no evidence that my client had to do with that. I had a witness testify at that hearing that happens to her all the time. And so to assign facts to things that are clear speculation is not fair, Judge. And therefore, the district attorney has highly exaggerated this thing and gone beyond the reasonable expectations of ethical consideration of proving the facts that she is alleging, Judge. So in this situation, we cannot. She says we have 3 or 4 hearings, and that in itself is an exaggeration. We had one hearing prior on this, besides the one we had below. So whatever she testified to is exaggeration, Your Honor, and the record will show that.
Your Honor, I don't know if you can see this. This is the mail that was given to the district attorney's office. All of it says Chris Akuna to an address that he never lived at, ever.
But there's no chain of custody. There is no chain of custody, and you know it. You didn't prove a chain of custody, and you can't prove a chain of custody because there is no chain of custody.
Your Honor, again.
So I really don't need to relitigate. I understand that the state brings it up at this point in terms of the PR bond. Mr. Chacon, what you filed was a defendant's motion to reinstate bond. And the relief you are requesting is to reinstate the bond that was revoked at the prior hearing. That's not going to happen. And your alternative is to place him on PR, which I'm understanding to mean a straight PR. That's also not going to happen because I understand what your concerns are in terms of the allegations of PR violations from the last hearing. I can tell you that I heard your concerns about that. I am just not satisfied that he is going to be compliant with PR bond conditions. So I had the history of the bond listed here as a guide. His bond has always been very high, Mr. Chacon. It's always been very high from day one.
Judge, we have a presumption of innocence in every case, and he's placed a bond that's impoverished him, and now you're taking his job away. He's not complying. He has no control over the mail service or anything. This is very unfair, Judge. I mean, put him on PR bond, let him go work. Let him go to October to his trial, Judge.
That request of placing him on a straight PR bond is respectfully denied. However, I also think that he is entitled to a bond. And so his bond is going to be a $500,000 split bond, $300,000 cash surety, $200,000 PR. The conditions will include all previous PR conditions. Let me see.
He's not going to be able to make that bond, Judge. He's not going to
I'm
be able to
sorry.
make that bond. It's impossible. 300,000 plus another, another several 100,000. I mean, it's impossible for a man of his income, Judge, but plus his indebtedness from the prior bonds, Judge.
I understand, Mr. Chacon, but in light of the nature and circumstances of the allegation, and I understand you're absolutely right. He is pre-trial. In other words, there's been no determination as to his guilt. But considering the nature and circumstances of the offense, the safety of the community, that's going to be the order. 300, 200 split. So 300 cash surety, 200 PR. I just got out of I can't think of any other conditions that on PR that would address some of the concerns. You know, the no contact order is there. So, Ms. Jasmine, do you have the PR bond order that was in place before it was revoked?
Yes, I do. I'm looking at it right now. Do you want for me to send it to you?
Do you have a date on it?
I'm showing April 11th, 2023.
Second amended. So yes, report in person once a week, regular restrictions, keep in contact with PR bonds with updated travel, no contact with the complainant or family, direct or indirect through any type of communication, electronic, regular mail, subject to testing, all of the other conditions, no new offenses, report place of residence, not possess weapons or ammo, and the additional condition at the bottom, Jasmine, if we will include that as well. May not request access via email from CW or family, may not utilize or authorize the use of CW's mailing address or email address. All right, the conditions are there. That's the order of the court. Mr. Chacon, I note your exception.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Who's next?
Next, we have Mr. Josue Annex. Can we get Josue Hernandez? Page 20, Judge.
Coming out, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Hey, Mr. Herrera.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
Can we call it, Judge?
Yes, please.
Okay, now calling docket 2024-030-0323, State of Texas versus Josue Hernandez. Announcements, please.
So I think he has 3 cases. Also 2024-0D01690 and 2024-0D00233. We are set. May I have announcements, please?
Jacob
Anyone
Reynolds
there? Sorry. Go ahead,
for
Judge.
the state of
Good
Texas.
afternoon. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, let's start over. Let me have announcements from the state, please.
Jacob Reynolds for the state of Texas, ready to proceed, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Just hit it out for the defendant, and we're ready to proceed.
And Mr. Hernandez is appearing remotely from the jail annex. We are scheduled for bond hearings in each of these cases. In cause number ending 323, his bond is $30,000. In 1690, his bond is $1,500. And in 233, cause number ending 233, his bond is $2,500. I have a notation here that we did address the bond back on April 30th, and the court denied his request for relief. Mr. Herrera, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, my client's 30 years old. I have in my office his father, his mother, his sisters, and niece. And my client's been in jail for over 160 days, Your Honor. And he has no children. He does live in Chaparral with his mother and father. He has an authorized use of vehicle, the possession charge, and the unlawful possession of a firearm. He does have, Judge, pending case out of New Mexico. It was for personal use of, I think it was methamphetamines, and he got a PR bond, and then he got into this trouble. And his family is not able to make the bond at the state that it's in, Judge. And I was hoping, he works for his father. His father owns a company called Hernandez Construction. They do roofing and framing, and they do ceramic tile and wooden tile. And because of those reasons, Judge, the family's asked me to ask the court again for a bond reduction. They can't make the bond where it is right now, Judge. The big problem is they don't have a piece of property that they can sign over that a bondsman will accept. So for those reasons, Judge, I think that if he gets out and New Mexico doesn't come for him, I think we can get these cases pled out to something that we can probably finish up pretty quickly. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Ardetta. Mr. Reynolds?
Yes, Judge, we believe the bond is reasonable. It's currently set to assure the defendant's appearance at both his pretrial settings and the trial eventually. I'm looking at the bond order on cause number ending in 1690 that was denying based on the defendant's criminal history, prior non-compliance, and future safety of the community. I would direct the court's attention to that. I agree with the court's assessment in that order. Looking at Mr. Hernandez's criminal history, I'm looking at a federal charge for bringing in and harboring aliens, for which the defendant was sentenced to prison. He actually was originally sentenced to a term of supervised release, which was revoked. That was in 2018. He had an additional probation violation in 2019 on that case, for which his supervised release was revoked. Seeing another federal supervised release violation in 2021 and 2020. In addition, the defendant also has a criminal history out that was drug related in 2016 out of Laverne, Tennessee. One of those offenses include drug charges as well as fugitive from justice charges. And then, as Mr. Herrera stated himself, he's got an extensive criminal history in Otero County, New Mexico, looking at drug-related charges as well as probation violations in 2021 and 2022, and additional probation violations in 2019 and contempt of court charges. Based on all this, Your Honor, I would submit respectfully to the court that Mr. Hernandez is not a good candidate for PR bond. I believe his bond as currently set is reasonable to assure that he appears for trial, and we intend to proceed on these cases at the next trial setting. Thank you, Judge. So we would ask for you to deny the defense's motion.
Mr. Ardetta, did you have anything else? Were you going to call witnesses or anything?
Your Honor, I just wanted to add that the address that he'd be staying at is in Chaparral. It's not in El Paso. Living with mother and father there in Chaparral, and he's been in jail all this time. Those violations that he did have, Judge, he ultimately he did get supervised release. The federal government gave him a chance, and then he violated. He's had a continuous drug problem, and they're all related to that. In fact, this case was related to drugs while using meth has caused him to do things But being sober for this long, he says that he wants another chance to redeem himself. And ultimately, he knows that he just wants to help out his father at work. And they would like for the court to consider at least splitting the bond just so they can make it.
And Judge, if I may,
I don't know that I really need you to, Mr. Reynolds. I appreciate, Mr. Herrera, that Mr. Hernandez's family is clearly very supportive. It's probably a blessing in disguise that they don't have anything else to put on the line for his release, because if there's anything this 17-page wrap shows me, is that he does not have any intention of abiding by any court conditions, not state court, not federal court, not Arizona, not Tennessee, not New Mexico, and certainly not Texas. So what's the rec on this case?
It's 7 years.
I'm sorry?
It's 7 years, Judge.
Yeah, well, the request to reduce the bond is respectfully denied. So
Judge, thank you.
You're
Thank you very much. May I be excused, Your Honor?
you may.
may I
Thank you,
also
Judge.
excuse Your Honor?
Is that all you have, Mr. Reynolds?
I think so. I'm just showing this case, and I think that's it. These two were four of these.
Thank you for your time. Thank you very much. Who's next?
Judge, on page 19, we have Seth Estrada at the annex. Seth Estrada,
Yes.
Mr. Arago.
Afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
And Judge, just so you know, before you put on the PO and all the stuff on the pre-revo, he has rejected the 2 TDC, and we're going to go to you for punishment. So we just need a setting on his revocation after we get back from vacation, if possible.
Okay, calling cause number 2022-0D05486, State of Texas versus Seth Estrada. May I have announcements, please?
801A for the state of Texas, present ready, Your Honor.
Jeff Rago for the defendant, Your Honor. And as stated, we have gone over the rec with our client of 2 TDC, which we feel is reasonable. He wants to go to you for punishment, so we'd like to request a setting for
Contested?
contested revo.
Let me just review. Is that correct, Mr. Estrada?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor. I'm hoping to get to BHRTC, a program that for my mental health.
Let me just double check. And that's perfectly fine. We can set it for a contested revo. Let me see.
I also have the paperwork from Colorado to run concurrent.
Just hold on, Mr. Estrada. Let me double check something, Mr. Rocco. Give me 1 second.
No problem.
Who is covering for probation here?
I am, Your Honor.
So let me see, the case summary. We're at 2 TDC. Mr. Rago, just because your client mentioned mental health angle. He's on for straight probation as it is, so he's got the conviction, right?
I believe so, Judge. I'm looking it up right now.
And he's got a mental health concern.
He does, Judge, and I think there may have been a 1622 originally.
I just reviewed the one from his most recent jailing, so I think it was April. There are diagnoses there. I don't have the benefit of, what's the criminal history like here?
He's got a pretty healthy criminal history just out of the county of El Paso. Let me take a look at his NCIC. He's got a 23-page criminal history.
Has he ever been to TDC before? See probation, PR.
No, Your Honor.
I don't see any here. I don't have a full wrap. Miss Carla, what type of mental health services? I always understood, let me see. So we have a drug charge, and assault on a peace officer. We don't have, really any performance on probation. What type of mental health services do they get in BHRTC?
Your Honor, BHRTC is mostly substance abuse. I mean, there are classes that they attend and take, but my understanding of BHRTC is mostly substance abuse, although there may be some kind of referrals for mental health for them to attend their EHN if they have any links to EHN through Tacomi, and they'll let them attend their doctor's appointments and stuff. But unfortunately, the department hasn't been able to screen for anything, as Mr. Estrada never reported. So there's not even the basic TAP appointment or anything like that was assessed.
There is a 1622 there. Mr. Ruggles, am I understanding that your client is looking for treatment, mental health treatment?
Yeah, sure. He basically doesn't want prison time, and he's amenable to treatment however you see fit. That's why we wanted to go to you for it.
Your Honor, I turned myself in Colorado. That's why I was away for some months.
Mr. Estrada, please don't talk, because the state of Texas, who is going to be listening to every word you say, and if you say something you think is okay, but it isn't, they're going to use it against you, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So he's got a 1622. Is this a case that could be screened in that 243rd? I can't think of the name of the court. The 243rd Mental Health Court.
I'm assuming so, Judge. I don't know whether there's anything that would kick him out as a result of this, but I think so.
Ms. Chavez, are you here on Eileen Hernandez?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
So you might end up being my next go-to expert on the 243rd Mental Health Court. What in terms of the criteria was, I know the 1622 was what we were focusing on in that case, but was there something else that, or can you tell me the criteria or what would automatically exclude them?
From my understanding, the judge was accepting cases that had the 1622. They were going to be linked to the AHN Takumi program. She didn't want any aggravated assault cases. There is a screening process. There's an application and an email that needs to be sent to the Inspire Court and staffed with the judge directly.
Okay. All right. That may be an option, Mr. Rago. Here's what we're going to do. Thank you, Ms. Chavez.
No problem, Your Honor.
We're going to set your contested revo. It's probably going to be about 30 days out. So that'll have to be an in-person hearing. And we'll probably do it on a Monday. Do you have a vacation certificate on file, or what days are you not available?
I do, Judge, and after 30 days out should be fine. That puts us at what, the 11th? Yeah, I'll be back.
I think it's likely we may be looking at latter July, because I know we have some trials early, well, like that mid-July. So it's probably latter July. So let's look at July. Ugh, I don't know. We're gonna have to find a date. I know July.
Whatever is convenient for the court, Your Honor.
But in the interim, I would like to see that if we end up going on the contested, or if we don't, that if we have this option, we know. So I need you to get in contact with the 243rd Mental Health Court and see what they need to start a screening process to see if they'll accept them. I'm not really sure. It's a newer court, so I'm not really sure how they do it. I know one of the criteria is that they have to have a 1622 with some mental health diagnoses, which is what we have here, and to see if he would otherwise qualify. I don't know if it's an assault on a public servant, assault on a peace officer, if that's going to preclude him from qualifying for that court. So there's that. All right. We're going to set that contested revo for 30 days. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm making notes right now. We'll see about that today.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
You may.
Thank you.
Okay. Who's next?
Judge, we have on the same page, 19, Eileen Hernandez. Annex, could we get Eileen Hernandez?
Is Mr. Avelar here on that one?
Yes, ma'am, he is.
Okay.
Yes, Judge, I'm here, Your Honor.
Okay. Calling cause number 2022-0D02367, State of Texas versus Eileen Hernandez. May I have announcements, please?
Ada Warner for the state of Texas, present and ready, Your Honor.
Daniel Avelar for Eileen Hernandez, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon.
Tina Chavez from Adult Probation, Your Honor. I apologize.
No worries. And Ms. Hernandez is appearing remotely from the jail annex. We went back and forth since the last hearing about seeing if we have an option here. And I'm not so sure I'm going to go with the option, Mr. Avelar, but in any event, we had her screened under 1622, which is what we needed to kind of check off the list to see if the 243rd would accept her. Where are we on that? I mean, we have this. I'm sorry?
The 243rd?
Correct, the mental health court there.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's already uploaded. We had a very hectic morning, and somehow I was handed the eval from Ms. Hernandez that was completed. It may be pending, showing up on Odyssey. So where were we in terms of that 243rd evaluation of if she would be able to participate?
Your Honor, it's my understanding that the 1622 was filed and the assessment was completed. She does meet criteria for the Inspire Court. I did send an email today just giving them an update. The only thing that I needed was an address where she's going to be residing, because the one we have on file is New Mexico. But they said she's good to go.
Wow. So do we have an address for her, Mr. Avila?
Judge, I had a wrestler address at one point.
Well, because she was in New Mexico, she was with grandma, and then she came over with dad.
Yeah.
Dad had some trouble and keeping track of her.
We talked about this how long ago, Judge?
We've talked about it quite a bit, and I'm not wholly comfortable because she is part of a group of offenders who I think every one of them has been revoked. Every one of them, because nobody did what they
This,
were supposed to.
this goes back to last year, Judge, with her father.
Yes, yes.
I remember.
We've had quite a bit
Yeah, Judge.
of issues. I don't know. You know, we talked about it. Your attorney advocated for it, Ms. Hernandez, but I'm not so sure you want to do this. You've never responded to treatment before. You've always failed to comply with treatment. I know what the state's going to tell me, at least 7 years TDC. That's what everybody else got, if not more. It's a terrible offense. Mr.
Their first degree?
Oh, yeah.
Want to do 5, Judge?
If she wants time, she can have the 7. That's easy.
I mean, yeah, I might have to have a real sit down with Miss Hernandez, Your Honor, and see what she's willing to do, not willing to do. Is she really, does she want this?
Well, we
spiral?
can, is there a timetable, Ms. Chavez? Like, do we have to know this within a certain period?
They'll have staffing again, I believe, on the 18th, and they wanted an update if she was going to be accepted. EHN is on hold, Your Honor, until I get that address, so it's up to you, Your Honor. It's not that something that has to be done right away.
All right. Mr. Avelar, how much time do you need? What are your thoughts, Ms. Winery, on 5 TDC?
Well, Your Honor, her co-defendants took 7. What does, why should she get less?
She's on deferred. It's not a final decision.
And it seems like the mental health issues are everyone's mental health issues are the same across the board. So I don't,
Is the co-defendant a male or a female?
No. The thing on the mental health angle for Ms. Hernandez was that she's been in custody for a while, right? And they did not have any mental health concerns when she checked in. There has never been an issue. I don't know if this is a result of the fact that she's in custody. But she did have treatment while she was out that she wasn't. So there was something there. They didn't pick it up. They didn't pick it up when she first got booked.
And Your Honor, if I may remind the court that although they didn't have the 1622 or it said that she didn't have services, she was receiving medication.
Yeah. Okay. If she doesn't want to do a program, the court is if what she really wants is a time rec, she can do 5 TDC.
Is co-defendant a male or female?
They're all males. She's the only female involved in this business. Yeah, what?
Well, I imagine there's some influence there. She's born in 2004.
Well, but we're talking then about when she owns up and takes responsibility and how much she is not compliant on probation, understanding the stakes for this case. So, and it was a lot. It starts with grandma where she's not coming home. She's taking off her monitor. She's taking all kinds of stuff. Honestly, I don't think she needs 5 TDC. I think she needs 7. I mean, there are very deliberate actions by your client in terms of the non-compliance. That none of these other folks were around when she was not doing what she needed to do, right, Ms. Hernandez? Remember when you were going out drinking and not listening to grandma and coming home whenever you wanted to, and then going with dad and, trying to find places for you to go? So why are you going to do good in a program, right? So,
but if you give me the chance to get on my medication.
Ms. Hernandez, I gave you a chance. I gave you a lot of chances. We brought you back from New Mexico so that, because dad was going to have a better handle on you. None of the chances that I've given you have been because you've done well. It's because everybody in your world, except for your co-defendants, and the boyfriend también, right? He was on probation, the guy that was MIA, and you were still hanging out with him when you weren't supposed to. Yeah. Okay. So, Mr. Avelar, we can have a probation status hearing in 30 days. Okay. We know
Yes,
now we have another option, but I'm not so sure we're there. Okay. Thank you very much.
Ms. Hernandez, I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Mr. Avelar.
Thank you, Judge.
Who's next?
Above that, Judge, Danny Gonzalez, downtown. Can I get Danny Gonzalez?
Ms. Chavez, are you still there?
Yes, Your Honor.
243rd wants to work with her.
Yes, they're willing to work with her on the fact that she turned herself in. She's young, she's presenting some more goals now. Also, we do have the option of BHRTC first before she goes to the mental health court. If you're willing to put her in a treatment environment and see how she does there, continue with the stability. The father was an enabler, as well.
Wow.
He enabled the negative behavior.
Yellow. Okay, all right. Please remind me of that next time. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Danny Gonzalez. Go ahead.
Can we go ahead and call, Judge?
Yes, please.
Calling docket 2020-0D01521. State of Texas versus Danny Gonzalez. Announcements, please.
A1 area for the state of Texas, present ready, Your Honor.
Rick Halpin on behalf of Mr. Gonzalez, we are ready.
Send a Guerra for adult probation.
And Mr. Gonzalez is appearing remotely from the downtown jail. This is an extensive case summary. Let me see. Okay, we were pending some information, pre-revel hearing, 2 weeks together's documentation that he completed the PHP programs in Mesilla Valley. The rec is 2 TDC. Okay. All right, Ms. Guerra, what do you have for the court?
Judge, I believe it was 4/26 when I reached out to Mr. Gonzalez asking him about the partial hospitalization program, but he never did respond to me where it was at or whether or not he completed. I know the court had a question regarding that, whether we received the certificate, and I never received a certificate.
Did you call the facility?
No, because I didn't know, he didn't let me know who the provider was.
And Judge, I've gotten kind of there. I haven't gotten the certificate from Mesilla Valley. That's the name of the facility, Mesilla Valley. He's also, I did speak with the caseworker from the Fresh Start program. It's all kind of intertwined. He's been getting services from the Fresh Start program since December of last year. And he's been doing so. He's currently enrolled still, although he's been in custody for about a month, a little over a month. The name of the young lady that was helping me is Yvette, and she is from the Fresh Start program. And that, Judge, is a program that basically takes them to get their treatment. That he also has housing through that program. They're helping him get jobs. It sounds like a really good treatment they have in Las Cruces, where Mr. Gonzalez is living. Judge, the inpatient is a partial inpatient program. It was 45 days, roughly from 7 to 2. Monday through Friday. So that it was basically like a treatment program, partial inpatient, partial outpatient, but he was going every day. And it is my understanding that he did complete the program. And then he's been involved with that Fresh Start program ever since. Kind of
So it was a little confusing, but I think we're there. I think if we need to get the court a certificate, we can. Judge, the last time we were here was June of 2023. Mr. Gonzalez got out of jail around that time and was asked to take a drug test. Was not able to because he was at work, Judge. And he couldn't get out of work. He called the probation department back and basically immediately the court put a warrant for his arrest, and that's why there's been that pretty long gap because he's had that warrant pending, but he has been doing well since getting out of jail, Judge. He hasn't picked up any cases since 2000. I think this is the 2000 case, January 2000 assault case, and I don't think he's picked up anything since. That's my understanding. He may have something in New Mexico, Judge, but at least here in El Paso, I don't believe he has any new offenses. And Judge, that's all I got. I hope we're hoping that he gets another shot on probation.
Okay, so I just received an updated case summary with a new recommendation. Okay, so I'm clear because now I'm going to get confused with all the courts. Inspire is the 243rd?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
okay.
Yes.
So the recommendation from probation is now that he is re-referred to Takumi, evaluated for meds and the administration of that injectable. Additionally, that he is screened for the Inspire court. So again, I'm going to ask now about Mr. Gonzalez. Does he have anything? I heard something in terms of violent offenses. Does he have anything that would, and I don't know if it means the instant offense or ever in their criminal history, does he have anything that we know would disqualify him for Inspire?
He's got
I'm sorry.
He has a sexual assault that he received deferred on back in 2011. He's got a conviction for 1, 2, 3, 4 assault causes bodily injury and family violence.
And that's this offense also.
Let me see, and let me check his rap sheet.
So here's where I'm at, Mr. Huffman. With respect to the treatment that he's supposed to already have a certificate for, we're in the same place as we were last time. So if you can get it to me, maybe. But now there's another option, which is the Inspire court, for which, you know, if you want to have him screen for that, I can do that too. It's gonna be a lot of work, I would think.
Judge, would the court be open to maybe 30 days ACOP? And then he promises once he gets out, he will do the things that he needs to do on probation. He just wants a fresh start, Judge, and he thinks he can get it done. He's in a good place right now.
Well, in jail, I'm happy to keep him there.
No, I think mentally, Judge.
I get it. I know
Before
what
he got
he was
arrested.
saying, but I know what he was saying last time. There was something about housing, things like that.
Yeah, he also has a conviction for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. So I don't know if that would qualify him for Inspire.
Okay. So no, ACOP is not the solution here for me. He's on straight, so he has the conviction. Why does he want 2 TDC?
Well, I think he's got some momentum going, Judge. He's working. He found a stable house.
Yes.
He's
Okay.
been doing well. So
This is another one. You have the certificate from whatever he's doing, some substantive update, but in the interim, let's get him screened for Inspire. I gotta think, Ms. Guerra, that screening him for Inspire is gonna mean an extension, right?
You probably, Judge, because he terms February 2025.
So let's find out, how long is that program generally? I don't know if it's something like DWI court that we can't really be sure, but I'd
That
like to
I'm
know
not-
those things.
Okay, I'll find out.
Thank you.
And he
Okay.
also has one pen trip for Miss Guerra's edification.
He's already been to prison.
Mm-hmm.
Judge, would you like me to, I have correspondence from the young lady at the Fresh Start program. Once I get the certificate, you want me to send that along with whatever I have from Miss Yvette?
That's fine if you'll send it to Miss Guerra.
I'll send it to Miss Yvette.
And tell me what it means. Like, did he
Yes,
attend
ma'am.
counseling every week? What did he do?
I did a 45-day program in Mississippi Valley. I have a picture of the certificate in my phone. I cannot find the actual certificate anymore. It went missing from the folder that Mr. Huffman received pictures of all the medical records that they gave me to get a New Mexico ID. He has them in his phone because my brother sent them in the message. Picture of all the paperwork that you're asking.
Sir, she's asking for your certificate.
Yeah, but I'm
From the
telling you,
program,
you know what
so
you
it's
got.
not,
You got the medical records from that program. It
I
has,
do not
it has
have the
start date,
certificate, sir.
It has the start date and it has the numbers to Richard, the guy in charge of the PHP program right there in the Silla Valley. He didn't see Mr. Huffman yesterday. I had a call with him and he told me that he didn't care what had happened. And he told me that he didn't care if I fired him or for me to have you to release him from my case.
Mr. Gonzalez, let me tell you something. Frankly, with your performance on probation, I'm not inclined to keep you on probation. You've already been to prison before and you didn't do what you needed to do here. Okay, so the offer of 2 TDC is perfectly fine for me. It's perfectly fine.
Judge, I'll set up a jail call with my client Friday. And then I'll talk to him about the Inspire program. Judge, I'll get the court whatever I can as far as the programs that he was in, the things that he was doing.
Yeah, I'm thinking,
We'll be
I don't
okay,
even
Judge.
think we need to go this route. You know, we throw resources and throw resources and throw resources at folks and they still don't comply.
And I think there might be some mental health issues, Judge, but I think he'll get through it. He's obviously under a lot of stress and anxiety in the jail. I don't think he's getting the proper treatment in there. But I think we'll be okay, Judge.
All right, we'll see you in 30 days. Thank you. Is there anyone else at the downtown jail? Yes, Ms. Guerra, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you very much, downtown.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, who's next?
Next, annex, could we get Robert Islas?
Yes, coming up.
Thank you. Mr. Driscoll, is this yours?
Yeah, this is my case.
Okay, go ahead and call it, please.
Now calling docket number 2024-0D00287, State of Texas versus Robert Islas. Announcements, please.
Ada Warner for the state of Texas, present, ready, Your Honor.
George Driscoll for Mr. Islas, Your Honor, and we're ready. Good
Mr.
afternoon.
Driscoll, good afternoon. Is that your client appearing from the jail annex?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Okay, we're scheduled for a bond hearing today. I show him at a 30,000 split, 10,000 cash surety, 20,000 PR. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. The ADA Winery and myself have, we believe, reached an agreement to resolve Mr. Islas's case, but it is requiring some counseling that he is unable to obtain while in custody. His risk level is a 0, I believe, on his pretrial assessment. He has been in custody for almost 6 months at this point. And we have obtained an affidavit of non-prosecution from the complaining witness, his wife. The protective order has long run. And she's not opposed to his release, and actually extremely supportive of his release, as they have 3 children together. And they would like to get this past them. Our intentions are to have Mr. Islas complete some batterers intervention program in the free world in exchange for dismissal, possible dismissal of this case. And so, and I believe the district attorney's office is unopposed to his reduction of bond to a split that his family can afford. Unfortunately, due to lack of resources, they can only afford a bond in the amount of $100. But I do believe the DA's office is in agreement, both through Mr. Dixon and Ms. Winery, as to the reduction.
Is that correct, Ms. Winery?
Yes, Your Honor, just based on the facts of the cases they've been presented to the state.
Okay. All right. I do show that he has some prior history. Indiana, some public intox, and something called invasion of privacy. So I'll take that to be like a criminal trespass. I'm not really sure. Virginia, there's a DWI and a DWLI in 2011. If the state is not opposed, then the court is going to grant the requested relief in the amount. Then they'll go from 10K and 20K. It'll be a 20,000 split bond, 1,000 cash surety, $19,000 PR bond. The conditions will include that he report once a month in person to PR bond. Of course, you have to attend court. We have a pretrial coming up on the 27th, August 22nd, status conference, final judges conference, October 1st. Mr. Driscoll, please make sure your client understands how we do the reporting in this court on Zoom, as he is not required to appear to court in person on those days, unless he doesn't have the technology to do it. And please, let us know if we're going to be expecting him in person. Final hearing, plea deadline, and jury trial is on October. He's not going to finish BIP in that time, right? That's what he has to do, is BIP for dismissal.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so what we're going to do for now, I'm assuming you're going to be in agreement with this, Mr. Driscoll, is push back that trial date. So the final hearing, plea deadline, and jury trial are going to be reset for December 10th is the final hearing, plea deadline, and December 13th is going to be the jury trial. That still might be cutting it really close, but we do have that final judges conference to check the status of his completion of BIP, see how far along he is. We need to adjust, we'll go from there. I just don't want to leave him without a trial setting.
Yes, right.
Okay, back to the PR bond conditions. Obviously, no complainant is his spouse. Is that right?
Yes, it is, Ron. Sergey Islas.
We're okay with a no offensive contact. Is that right? Yes. Okay. So no offensive contact with any of the complainants. May not leave El Paso County without court permission. May not change his place of residence without court permission. Possess no weapons or ammo. Current contact information with peer. I'm trying to think. I'm missing some conditions here. I'm going to put a curfew from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. unless he is working or going to school. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. I believe he intends to return to his employment at Discount Tire. I don't know what his hours will be, but we will be in coordination with PR on that. Well.
And no alcohol, no legal drugs, subject to testing. That should be good. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a good day. Is that all you have, Mr. Driscoll?
Yes, Your Honor. May I be excused?
You may have a good day.
No, you as well.
Who's left?
Mr. Kyla Herrera. Annex, if we get Herrera.
And what happened on Mr. Ferraro?
Mr. Ferraro, I called his office because Miss Solis did not appear, and they said that you had talked to her earlier today, Judge.
Oh, yeah.
Because I called them and said that they need to appear. They said that Miss Solis, while she was here, had talked to you about it.
I think we come to an agreement on that case.
So we're just going to the next setting?
Yes.
I didn't remember that. It was such a busy morning.
I don't know that she announced to the court, but between myself and her, we had a conversation about the plea offer on that case. So
Okay, it's not even set for arraignment until the 20th, so. All right. Let's go back to Ms. Herrera. Calling cause number 2023 0D00109, State of Texas versus Kyla Guadalupe Herrera. May I have announcements, please?
801 area for the state of Texas, present ready, Your Honor.
Ms. Carla, are you covering this for probation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and ma'am, would you state your name and date of birth from the annex?
December 9, 2000.
And your name, ma'am?
Kayla Guadalupe Herrera.
Okay, Ms. Herrera, we're set for a probation status hearing. Bear with me 1 second. Probation summaries. Okay, 2 deferred in 23, failed to report in September. We had a bench warrant and we got her. Okay. I'm trying to see, we probably should get an attorney here. What are we talking about? They're asking to just basically put her back on probation, right? Carla, is that what the recommendation is with a screening?
Yes, Your Honor.
What's her criminal history like?
And let's see. My computer slows down about 4 o'clock. She has an evading arrest that was dismissed, criminal mischief that was dismissed. The only thing that she has, false statement to law enforcement. The only thing that she has no convictions technically. She has a deferred on this case, so that's all she has. Her rap sheet.
Well, the state hasn't filed a motion, right?
No, Your Honor.
Well, I mean, it's just a long time. So, it's a long time to not report. So what happened?
It's hard to tell because I basically lost everything and I wasn't supposed to talk to my mother, which is the
Okay, Ms. Herrera, let me stop you real quick. I want her to have an attorney. It looks like Arif Abrar represented her at the plea. And so we need to get Mr. Abrar appointed to Ms. Herrera's case now that it's in the probation stage and we have significant non-compliance. Ms. Herrera, you didn't have an attorney assigned to you now. You did when you pled, but you don't have one now.
Yeah.
And so I'm not comfortable getting into the real details of your case without you having an attorney, okay?
I understand.
I'm gonna bring Ms. Herrera back on Tuesday. She comes back in 1 week. I need the order appointing Mr. Abrar to her case, and we will set it at the 3 p.m. jail docket, just like we did today. Hopefully Mr. Abrar is somewhat up to speed with you, but you know, there's some stuff he's probably gonna have to look at in anticipation of next week's hearing, but I don't want to delay. Let's just reset this for 1 week and we will have your attorney appointed to Ms. Herrera. Okay?
I understand. Thank you.
Okay, we'll see you in a week. Okay. Kind of a short report. Do we have anybody else from the jail?
Yes, Your Honor, we have Limon, Edward, and Ferraro, Rene.
Who was that next one?
Limon, Edward,
Mr. Limon, the attorneys requested a reset for July because he's pending a screening. Who was the other one though?
Ferraro, Renee.
Can we go ahead and bring out Mr. Ferraro, please?
Judge, was Limon reset for Thursday or for next month?
So Thursday, they're gonna do a screening, so that should appear as a status. I had reset them for the end of June to see what happens after that screening, but the attorneys were not available, so they're not coming back until July. Mr. Ferraro, is that you? Sir, your attorney was here. She is not here for this hearing today, the bond hearing. I think she's pending to speak with you because she did speak with the prosecutor this morning. And she apparently waived the bond hearing. I think they might have worked some things out, but you're probably pending speaking with her because that just happened this morning, okay? Ms. Solis is very diligent, so I know if we need to come back on a bond hearing, she will notify us and we have future settings, okay? I didn't just want you to think that it was ignored, but we're not having our bond hearing today, okay?
Thank you.
All righty, thank you very much. Annex, I think, is that everybody?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor, that was it.
Thank you so much for your time. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a good day too.
Bye-bye.